Okay, Bob. I've been looking forward to doing this. It's taken me a while to get a microphone set up. I've never really had a microphone set up um, for my computer, so I can walk us through this. But here we go. I'm pulling it in, and actually, this is a really good shot. We're going to be able to do a lot with this here. Um, is this really the same shot? I thought there was some blown highlights or something in that other shot. It looked really different to me. Um, the first thing I do is I use over here to the left, I use this um, preset that I've created for myself that I do to every single picture um, that I edit. I start with this. It includes a little bit of luminance here. Make the sharpening as standard at 35. I don't see that Lightroom really does much with sharpening. Um, so now that we're in here, I'm going to kick this up like that. Good. You know, my style is to add a little bit of contrast. Be sure our colors look good. There we go. So just adding a little bit of warming it up with a little bit of yellow there. Um, and I think that is it for Lightroom. Nice and easy. So now we're going to export it. And just send it right here. I'm going to open it up in Photoshop. And there we go. So that's all I do in Lightroom. I don't do a whole lot. What did we do? Just spend maybe 2 minutes in there? That's really about it. I do a lot of my heavy work in Photoshop. Okay, so here we are. And in Photoshop, I often I'm going to look at this whole thing and man, it looks good. I, I, I don't really remember the picture. It's been a while since we've been on there, but I thought that the picture needed a little more work, but this is in really good shape. Okay, I'm looking at the image as a whole, just wondering if I want to crop it, because I kind of like to crop it first. And I do. I've got like a little bit of space up here. And this you're talking about doing it for a CD, which means it should be a square. Um, so just to do it safe, I'm going to do a 4:5 crop. Bring this down here. You know, the thing is, like with the CD, you have all this space over here that you can use for you know, any text that you want to put in there. I'm just going to do it right here. You know what? I'm not going to crop it, just in case you want to use this. When I do the shoots for magazines, that's part of the requirement is I don't do any cropping in case they want to use some of the space. So first thing I'm going to do is just duplicate the layer. A lot of people use these down here. This is just what I do. I admit it, I'm different. And now I'm going to work the levels so I like what I see here. This is what I do. I work light first, and then I bring in the darkness. Take a look at where it was, where I am. Where it was and where I am. I like it. Now you see she's got these marks under her eyes. Go take a look at it. It's a good sharp image. But I want to clean this up right here. So I'm gonna go over here. This is what I do here. Come over and use this healing brush tool. I want to make it a little bit bigger, not quite larger than what we have here, but pretty close. I'm going to sample from just below it. It always tells me that, even though I selected it correctly. Sample it again. Sample it again. Sometimes it'll start turning dark, and what I'm doing is moving around darkness, and that's not what I want. I want lightness. See how I just made it a little bit lighter right there? That one actually I didn't like. So now we're going to do the same thing over here. There we go. See how that made it dark? I didn't like that. See how sometimes it gets a little light, sometimes it gets a little dark, and it's just reading something from over here. That's what it's doing. Still want to make this lighter. If you get too close to the eyes, it actually pulls like her mascara from it. That tends to be a problem. I feel like I'm just spreading this out now. I don't like it. See how it's going? I'm going to go pull some from the clone tool. Make it a little bit smaller. I keep it really soft there at 7% typically, in that area anyway. The only problem with the clone tool is, look at that, that's just too much. So I'm not liking that. It's kind of funny, I normally don't have this much trouble with this one here. There it goes, it's going back to light. Let's take a look at it now. There's where we started, and there's where we are. Okay, now when I pull it in, I usually go around 40–45%, but I'm still getting this right here, 45%. Taking it up, it's starting to disappear now, but man, that's a high number. I normally don't go that high. So we're going to go here, layer, merge down, and I'm going to do it again. This up here. Let's see. Oops. Okay, so let's see how we are now. See, we took away a little bit there. I'm going to bring it back in just a little bit. And there we go. There, flatten. Okay, next. Fit on screen. I really like the warmth of everything that's going on over here. One thing I do is I use this preset here. It's I bought it from Greater Than Gatsby. It's called Clean Drama. And it's got a vignette that I don't really like. You'll see how heavy it is here in a minute. And so typically I either kill the vignette automatically and just look at it like that. See how vibrant it becomes? It really pulls out the colors. This preset works with a lot of my shots. It doesn't work with everyone. You can actually go above, lower, right there. I like that. So there we are, adding that preset, giving it a little bit of power there. I like it. Layer, flatten. And I'm just flattening the entire thing. Now I'm going to go layer, duplicate layer, and again I'm going to work with light again. Staying within her body, I'm at hardness 54. Bigger than that. And my exposure's at 11%. This is really powerful, so I go pretty easy on this. I want this guitar to have some light. The thing is, like, you have all this light around her that you're competing with. Okay, so there's where we were, there's where we are, there's where we were, there's where we are. Just a little bit powerful. So I'm only going to blend in a little bit of it here. There we go. Layer, flatten. Okay, the next thing that I look at is what else is grabbing my attention. These things here are in focus. I don't like it. You get this thing here, and I'm just totally going to get rid of this with my clone tool. So I'm just going to go like this. And you kiss it goodbye. Select, deselect. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a shoddy job, like on the sides it can pull things from somewhere, but that did pretty well. The next thing I want to do is get rid of this thing next to it. See, it tells me that all the time. Okay, that's nice and clean now. So the only thing that's bothering me are these leaves up here. And there's a lot of different ways of handling it, but the way that I like to do it is, again, create a new layer. And go underneath. Oops, go to filter, Gaussian blur. And what we're doing is we're just looking at what's going to soften this up here. Right there, I think that's it. A lot of people use masking tools, and I really should be doing it more. But I don't. So what I'm trying to do is just get it nice and soft so it kind of blends in. Just don't want it to take any attention away from her. Let's see over here. Using a nice soft brush so it all just kind of falls in. Just looking for anything that looks like it's relatively sharp. Pretty good there. Just add a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Layer. Flatten. Okay. Let's see now. The next step I want to take is going to her eyes. This is 200% here, so it's not going to be perfectly in focus. Her eyes are dark, so they're not going to like jump out, even in good color. You know, you got a nice brown color to her eyes, so you don't want to make them really like pop when it would be completely unnatural. There's a number of different ways that I use to get the eyes out, but what I find that works easiest for me is this one here. Just 1, 2 moves, 1, 2 moves. Okay, so now you can look at, that's where it was, that's where it is. Again, I don't want to go too much because it'll quickly appear to be unnatural. Let me try one more. Okay, this little thing is bothering me. There, there, oops, pull it over. notice it now. Okay, nothing wrong with her skin. Everything looks good there. It's a very nice skin. It's always nice when I work with somebody that I don't have to do anything there with. You fit onto the screen. And I think we're good there. Layer, flatten. I'm doing it 100%. Sometimes I blend the eyes in a little bit, but that worked out pretty well. Now then, I'm gonna look at, I'm gonna go layer again, and I'm going to look at just her skin. It just seems just a tiny bit red to me. This is really powerful, the magenta green one, so I rarely do it more than one or two. And I'm pulling away from the reds. Normally I warm things up by going to red, but in this case I'm seeing a little bit of red in her. So see the red, and now we pulled it off. So I like that. Okay. Now I want to see how it works globally. Yeah, I like it better. Okay. Layer, flatten. Okay. I'm starting to like this. Ew. 100%. Still, I'm staring at her eyes right now, and this line here. But that doesn't bother me too much. It's just this one here that does. Normally I clean it up a little bit better than that. Thinking about adding a little bit to her hair. Just giving it a little bit of pop. One of the things that I do is just simply go layer. Add in a soft light here. You'll see it like that. It's the contrast that I'm looking for there. You fit on screen. Of course, I'm not going to do it at 100%, never will. But I'm going to look at about right there, 26% or so. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at the grayscale. See the contrast? I like it much, much better with that added contrast right there. There we go. Let it flatten. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Again, I don't think this is the same image that I saw on your on that post. It seems like she was right next to a tree on the one that you had posted on FM. Because I remember there were challenges that I thought I was going to have in working on it. And this one, really, there were no challenges. It was just like making it work out really better. I really think that's pretty much it. I feel pretty good about this. So I'm going to save it and send it to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.